Today we're going to be installing an eBay big brake kit, basically the remanufactured Nismo brakes as well as the bigger brake rotors and brake pads. This is going on because I am using it with the GK Tech angle kit, which I already have installed on this side of the vehicle. You can see right here, it's just this bracket right here, as well as their tie rods and their inner tie rod spacer. I already have this side installed. I'll show you the install on the other side of the vehicle when we get to that here in a second. I've already taken this brake caliper and brake rotor off right here, and so I'll show you installation on the right side of the vehicle when we do that. So it literally only took me about 10 minutes for this side to swap it on. I'll go ahead and show you guys the other side over there. So like I was saying, guys, right here on this side we have stock brake caliper and stock brake rotor. Right here we have the bigger 4-piston Brembo style brake caliper, brake rotor, and pads. So right here you could see this brake line bolt. Brake line comes in. I'll show you real quick. Brake line comes in right here into the bolt right here on the back. If it'll focus there, you can see right there. So you can see right there that bolt comes in. This Banjo bolt right here, you will have to replace this Banjo bolt with a new one with the Brembo 4-piston calipers. I'll show you this real quick right here. So right here we have the bolt that comes in the stock Z right here on the base model and stuff like that, and this is the shorter one that comes on the Nismo one, the ones that came with the Nismo brakes. So you will have to replace that with the shorter Banjo bolt. I got this one from Z1 Motorsports. I'll go ahead and tag in the description where I got that from, so you guys can find that where I got it as well. Right here and right here are the two main caliper bracket bolts that we're going to be taking off to get this off of here. These are both 22 millimeters, and stock on this is a 12 millimeter right here for the hose. The replacement one that I have for it is a 14 millimeter, so it may be slightly different. So let's get this set up real quick so you can see in there. So I am using this right here. It's just a little hose clamp pincher just for hoses. Pinch it so that you don't lose all the fluid inside there. So pinch the hose so that I don't lose too much fluid out of there. Take the Banjo bolt and break it loose. This will drip out some brake fluid, so have a rag or something underneath it to catch that. Right there. I'll stick this up out of the way. And like I said, these two bolts back here are 22 millimeters. So you can use just a regular socket and wrench for this. I have an impact gun. It makes life go faster, and I already have it, so I'm gonna use it. With that, got the new rotor right here. Just spray it off with brake clean to get all the oil off of there that they put on there when they ship them, to keep them from rusting. With that sprayed off, this one slides on where the old one was. The caliper is going to bolt on to those same two spots right there. I do have those bolts just barely stuck in there, as you can see right here. So I'm gonna go ahead and put those on, and I'd recommend putting those on with a wrench, not an impact gun like this, since it is tightening into this aluminum brake caliper. Don't want to strip that out. Got those in there all the way. I'm gonna grab a wrench, tighten those real quick. After that, we'll put the brake pads in. You will notice this is a different caliper. With this caliper, you don't have to take the caliper off the caliper bracket. It's all made into one piece, and these two brake pads just slide in here like this. They'll just go in there, slide in there like that. So we're gonna get these brake pads put in here. Calipers all bolted up, that's ready to go. Right here, one of these has a brake pad warning indicator right here. The other one doesn't. I'm gonna put the one without the indicator on the outside since that's easier to see. The one with the indicator on the inside edge since it's harder to see while the wheels are on the car and everything like that. Right here, I have the bracket. There's 2 pins, and with each of the 2 pins, there is a small cotter pin that goes through. So with this, I put the bracket on top. One of the pins is gonna go through really easy. Go through all of them, and you'll have to get a hammer sometimes to hit this in a little bit. This one went in pretty easily. So once this is through, I don't know if you'll be able to see it on here. I'll try and zoom in so you can see what I'm talking about. So the little cotter pin right here is going to go through the pin on this side right here, behind the pad right here, and between that and the caliper itself. So I'll slide that in there, and that keeps this pin from backing out and holds brake pads in. Then this side right here, push down like that, slide that same pin through on the other side. Usually fairly easy. Slide it through here, there, line it up on this side, and it pushes through. And then just spin this till I can see that hole where the cotter pin goes through, and stick that cotter pin in there. Now, last thing we have to do is just attach the brakes right here on the back right here. Have that brake line fitting. We'll use that Banjo bolt along with the Banjo for the brake line itself here. So this is going to go on. With this, we have Banjo bolt and then 2 copper washers. 1 copper washer will go on each side of the Banjo right here for the brake line fitting. So this is going to go back together pretty much the same way it came apart. Go ahead and get that put on there. I'll get that tightened up. And then after this, the next step with the brakes is going to be to bleed the brakes. Alright, line should be good. So what you can do is loosen these caps and have a friend in the car pumping the brakes. I'm just thousands of videos, I'm sure, on YouTube on how to bleed brakes, so I'm not going to go exactly how that process works. Alright guys, so in that last video I left off, was a couple weeks ago when I recorded that. I've gotten a haircut, shaved since then, grown up. So got the big brake kit installed in the car, bled the brakes as you saw in the last clip, and been driving around the car for a little while. Brakes feel great, work great, everything like that. They work completely normal, feel a lot stronger than normal than these stock brakes, and overall it's a great purchase. So I'll see you later.